The piercing barks shattered the unnatural silence of the pre-dawn hours, an insistent, raw sound that clawed at the walls of St. Jude's Children's Hospital. It wasn't the occasional howl of a stray, nor the playful yaps of a pampered pet. This was a sustained, desperate cry, echoing through the empty parking lot, a broken symphony of fear and urgency. Nurses on the night shift glanced at each other, their faces etched with weary concern.
A dog? All night? It was unheard of, disturbing the fragile peace within the sterile halls. The dog was a scruffy, medium-sized mutt, a mix of brindle and shadow, its fur matted with dew and dirt. Its eyes, luminous in the dim hospital lights, were fixed on the imposing glass doors, a singular, unwavering focus. Each bark seemed to be torn from its very soul, a desperate plea to an unseen audience. Security guards, accustomed to shooing away strays, found themselves hesitant. There was something in its gaze, something in the relentless rhythm of its barks that spoke of a deeper agony, a purpose beyond mere hunger or cold. They tried to approach, to coax it away, but the dog would only retreat a few steps, then turn, its gaze still locked on the entrance, and resume its mournful vigil. It was as if its life depended on being heard, on breaching the impenetrable barrier between it and whatever lay inside. Dr. Eleanor Vance, a pediatric oncologist known for her calm demeanor, felt a strange pull towards the commotion. She had just finished a grueling overnight shift, her heart heavy with the day's losses, her mind racing with the delicate lives still hanging in the balance. The dog's cries resonated with a familiar ache, the helplessness in the face of suffering. She watched from a distance, then walked slowly towards the animal. As she neared, the barking intensified, a frantic crescendo. The dog's body trembled, its tail tucked low, but its eyes, filled with an intelligent, almost human despair, implored her. "What is it, boy?" she murmured, her voice soft. The dog whined, then barked again, nudging its nose towards the main entrance. It circled, a restless, agitated dance, then returned, bumping its head against her hand, as if urging her, "Please understand." Eleanor, despite her exhaustion, felt a prickle of unease. This was no ordinary stray. This dog was trying to communicate. She followed the dog's agitated movements as it led her not towards the emergency entrance, but around to a less used side door, an old service entrance that led to the hospital's older wing, now mostly used for storage. The dog stopped there, its barks now lower, more mournful, interspersed with anxious whimpers. Eleanor's gaze fell upon a small discarded blanket lying near the door, and then, her heart caught in her throat, she saw it. A tiny child's shoe, worn and muddy, tucked half-hidden beneath the blanket. A surge of adrenaline, cold and sharp, jolted her. A child. The dog wasn't just barking for itself, it was barking for someone else. Her mind raced, connecting the dots, the child's shoe, the hidden entrance, the dog's desperate plea. She radioed security, her voice tight with urgency. Within minutes, the usually quiet service hallway buzzed with activity. They forced open the old door, hinges groaning in protest. The air inside was stale and cold, thick with the smell of dust and disuse. As the beam of a flashlight cut through the gloom, it landed on a small, huddled form tucked behind a stack of old medical equipment, a child. Barely 5 years old, shivering, pale, and barely conscious. The little girl, her face streaked with tears and dirt, clutched a tattered teddy bear. Beside her, another small, scruffy dog, whimpering faintly, lay curled protectively. This dog was clearly the companion, the one the barking dog outside had been trying to save. The child stirred, her eyes fluttering open, and a weak, raspy whisper escaped her lips. "Max." Max, the dog outside. He darted in, ignoring everyone else, rushing straight to the little girl, nuzzling her face, licking away the tears that still clung to her cheeks. His barks had transformed into soft, comforting whimpers, a symphony of relief. It turned out the little girl, Lily, had wandered away from her parents while they were visiting a critically ill relative in the hospital. Lost and disoriented in the vast, unfamiliar corridors, she had stumbled into the disused wing, getting herself trapped when the old door swung shut behind her. Max, her faithful stray companion from their neighborhood park, had followed her, a silent shadow. When he couldn't get her out, he had done the only thing he could: bark. He barked and barked, his only hope that someone, anyone, would hear his desperate message and understand. He barked for Lily and for the tiny shivering pup, a younger stray he had taken under his wing who was now huddled beside Lily, too frightened to move. The truth broke everyone's heart, not in sorrow, but in overwhelming compassion and awe. The little girl was dehydrated and weak, but otherwise unharmed. The smaller pup was also safe. Max, the relentless protector, had saved them both. The news spread through the hospital like wildfire. Staff members who had initially been annoyed by the incessant barking now looked at Max with profound respect. He wasn't just a stray. He was a hero, a beacon of loyalty and unwavering love. Days later, Lily, her health restored, was reunited with her grateful parents. Max, no longer a stray, was adopted by Lily's family. He had found his forever home, not by chance, but by his own fierce, boundless devotion. And the smaller pup, timid and recovering, found a home with Dr. Vance, who, after witnessing Max's incredible act, knew she had to open her heart to this quiet survivor. The incident became a legend at St. Jude's, a reminder that courage comes in many forms and that love can pierce through even the darkest silence. Max's barks, once a nuisance, became a symbol of hope, a testament to the profound unspoken bond between humans and animals. Sometimes a desperate cry is not a sign of chaos, but a pathway to salvation, a call that, if we listen closely enough, can lead us to the most profound acts of love and heroism. And in those moments, when one brave heart refuses to give up, even the most broken situations can find their way to a beautiful, healing